The Ruike knife P138-B. Ruike is very quickly becoming one of my favorite brands in the sort of higher budget range. I'm John and this is my channel. Welcome to all of you. I'm gonna talk a little bit about this Ruike knife and present it to you, a little bit of a review, some good, a lot of good, and some not so good. I wouldn't say bad, but not so good. If we start at the blade, we have a flat grind, a tanto with some switch here. I'll just go a bit closer. And a switch at the spine. No jimping here. If we look at the handle, we have some nice grinded lines. I'll just try to catch the light here for you. And it is G10. On the back side we have a pocket clip, and this is, I'm sorry to say, for the lefties, one side, right side tip up only. A bit of a wire clip, very much tension, not very much purchase inside. This can be a problem if your trouser seams are a bit wide. It is rather deep carry. If we go to the fit and finish, everything is nicely rounded off, but I have to say that on this one, if you look at the lines here, they end up down here, and all these little corners are actually quite sharp on the other side as well. They actually grab your thumb or your fingers a little bit. I think they could have rounded them off a little bit or buffed them off perhaps. I think I'm gonna take a Dremel just to sand them off a little bit, because they are kind of pointy. These on every one of these lines is as if they just they could have just sanded off a little bit. It's not a big issue, but I tell you the way I see it. And if we look at the lockup, it is around 50%. Blade centering absolutely perfect. I just have to tell you that I already had this one apart, so of course I made the blade centering perfect, and it is possible without any side to side play or up and down play, and still get the action that I'm going to show you in a little while. Ergonomically, well, they sacrificed a little bit for the design, but it still is very nice in hand indeed. Both reverse grip and ordinary, and even it's a bit strange in the draw cut, but as I say in all my videos, don't cut against yourself, but some people want to do that, and this doesn't feel that right, but it is absolutely okay in every other position. Especially reverse grip is really nice. If we look at the handle to blade ratio, I normally don't do that, but the blade in this case actually is quite a lot shorter than the handle, mainly because a lot of the back of the handle is supposed to be where you put your lanyard, and the lanyard hole is actually all the way to about here. So this piece is actually just for the lanyard, but it makes the handle look a lot longer than the blade. Let's have a look at the action. This knife has the bearings, and it is not ball bearings, but in this case, and rather rarely, it is pin bearings. So actually it's a rolling bearings, but not like balls, but rolling pins. This makes for a very good grip in the pivot around the blades. A lot of surface on the blade to keep it firmly in the handle. If we look at the top here, we have this rather hidden lock, and it actually works. You can't open the knife. I know that some people like this lock and some people really don't care about it. I don't belong to the latter. I don't really care, but for some I don't hate it anyway. And like every rake knife, the overall impression is very, very good quality, especially for the money. This one is one of a little bit more expensive. It's around 53 euro, as far as I remember. And I like the design, overall design, very much. I like the action, which is buttery smooth, and those pin bearings really make for a good action. It is a sturdy and rather heavy knife, but not so that it bothers me in my pocket. And as always, I'll put all the data in the end of the video for you to read. As always with the rake knives, at the price I'm very impressed, and even at a higher price range this would be a very good knife. Just a little issue with these corners on the handle, but well, it is a little issue, just so that you know. In my last video I told you something about the pivot in these rake knives, the pivot screw. Behind this pivot screw there is a washer. I think it's a silicone washer, and I think I'll have to show you, because just to make sure that it is clear that this has nothing to do with the action inside the pivot. This is actually just behind the screw. So I'll just very quickly take this screw out, and then I can show you what I mean. Because inside, behind the screw, there is a little silicone washer, and it's really very, very small and thin. And as I said, some people argued that this was to make the tolerance better in the knife, but this is just too thin and too soft to do anything like that, I think. And of course it's only Rake that could confirm that, but I think the idea behind this is to prevent using Loctite in the screw, and I just have to adjust it a little bit so we can. So look, see, a little bit of blade spray, you just, and there it is. So I think that this little disc prevents the screw from unscrewing itself when you open it repeatedly, until someone proves me wrong and tells me differently. That's what I go for. This was just to explain what I meant in my previous video about the other rake knife, which was the P138-L. With this, I hope you have a nice day, evening, whatever it is in your country. Bye bye.